What's up, guys? My name is Victor. Welcome to my YouTube page, and this video is going to be about helping lightworkers create an effective morning ritual for themselves to help ease the ascension symptoms and ground and center themselves while in the midst of the tumultuous awakening process that can easily throw you way off your square. I found it to be essential and necessary for myself during my awakening process to keep my sanity, to allow myself to function in the real world, because the awakening process can drive you crazy and drive you mad and thrust you into such wild upheaval of emotions and life situations that if I wasn't proactive in making it a point and a habit to ground myself, then I don't know where I'd be today. So I'm going to share with you 3 essential components, in my opinion, for a light worker. And I don't mean it like I know what all light workers need. I'm talking about fundamentally, I do understand the awakening process and what is going on. And if you just use one or a couple of these instead of all 3 of these components, it can leave you unbalanced. So you don't want to just take one of these. You want to do them all and in the order I give you. It's very important because, again, it will lead to even more imbalance. And I had to learn this the hard way. Number 1 is to stimulate your Kundalini on a daily basis. Now this, again, without the following steps, will leave you very unbalanced. I found this out the hard way. But by stimulating your Kundalini, what your Kundalini is, and I'll make a separate video explaining in detail what it is, it's essentially the energetic component to the awakening process. It's your spirit, your soul's energy that you feel in a physical way. And by stimulating it, you are sort of accelerating the awakening process. You're kind of calling forth more of your spirit essence to seep into your body, basically. So I like to use Kundalini yoga. It's a type of yoga. It's not so much for like exercise and getting like really buff or anything, or breaking a sweat. It is heavily involved in pairing certain breathing exercises with poses and something called bandy locks, which are where you kind of like contract. You don't have to know the exactly like what all this is, but I like to do Kundalini yoga. I became a Kundalini yoga instructor many years ago, and I've been kind of just doing it on my own ever since. And again, this is going to stimulate your Kundalini energy. You can look up Kundalini yoga if you'd like. I'm also in the process of creating a morning ritual product that I'm going to sell on my website. It's not quite complete yet, but it'll tell you all about what I'm about to go over. So you want to do some sort of yoga. In my opinion, it works best for stimulating and raising your spirit energy. So now comes step 2, where you ground it and allow it to kind of even out and clear away all that it kicks up. Because again, the purpose of your Kundalini energy is to kick up baggage, kick up issues, fears, negative and dense energy that is obscuring your full embodiment of your spirit essence. But if you just continue to raise your Kundalini, it's going to just continue to kick up more and more of your crap. And unless you really know what to do with it, you're going to have too much of a buildup. And that's going to lead to becoming incredibly unbalanced. It's going to make your awakening symptoms worse. So you must do this part 2, where you ground yourself. For this, I like to do a couple different things. I like to do something called bioenergetics, which is just a form of emotional therapy where you shake and you vibrate yourself, and it's kind of goofy, but the idea is to kind of shake loose neurotic holding patterns, which are just one way of describing your unconscious muscle contractions. And your unconscious, we all have, like, again, unconscious contractile forces within our body, and we have those because of a trauma or an emotion. So it's kind of a it's a 2-part thing. There's the emotional trauma, an experience we've held on to, and it manifests itself physically in our body in this neurotic holding pattern. And bioenergetics is a form of therapy that helps you kind of shake it loose. So it's sort of like the opposite of psychoanalysis, from if you guys like read anything about like Freud, the Freudian philosophy, where you kind of do a lot of question and answer to help people get to the bottom of these unconscious layers within themselves. That's kind of like trying to find the emotion through dialogue. This is the opposite. You're trying to kind of go through the body and shake loose the physical manifestation of the emotional trauma. So it's very effective. And it doesn't require you to really have to it's a lot more efficient and faster in my opinion. You raise your Kundalini, inevitably you're going to kick up some stuff, and then you shake a lot of it away. And combined with this part 2, I do a stillness meditation, because the Kundalini can kind of the object of it is to go up your spine, awaken your chakras, and then kind of out your head. Most people don't have it going out their head cleanly yet, so it can kind of get stuck and make you feel a little bit heady and unbalanced and ungrounded. So stillness meditation kind of takes the focus off of attempting to raise it and control it, and now you kind of are allowing it to do what it wants to do. And as you do that, your Kundalini energy will kind of settle naturally within your being. It'll even itself out. It won't be pocketed in any particular area, and you'll just feel really good. When you raise your Kundalini and then you balance it out, you feel very in tune. You feel really, you have a high level of clarity. You're operating from more of an intelligent aspect of your consciousness. It's not, now you're bringing to the table more of your soul, basically. You're not just acting on your mind, which is incredibly limited. You bring forth the wisdom and the power of your soul essence into your day-to-day affairs. Step 3, I take advantage of this ridiculously clear and grounded and amazing state of being, and I use some spiritual tools for controlling and influencing my reality based on what I want. How do I want to be? What do I want my life to look like? I use something I call charged visualization. It's kind of combining positive affirmations and visualization, and I charge it with emotion. So it's like a trifecta of frickin' manifestation power. And when you do it from this grounded, soul awesome state, it's wickedly powerful. It's so powerful that, in fact, I have given up on certain manifestations, because when you intend for something, when you do it this way, it will come. Your life will start to frickin' break apart and make way for what you're asking for. But I've learned the hard way that sometimes you don't always know exactly what you want, because as your world starts to shift and change based on what you're putting out there in that powerful, streamlined fashion, sometimes, for me, I one time came to a conclusion that I am not willing to go forward any longer. It's getting way too nutty, too risky, too wild, and I just don't have the freaking courage to keep going like that. So again, in my opinion, I would keep your intentions very general. Don't get too specific. You can if you really, really do know what you want, but again, be careful what you wish for, because it's a powerful technique. Your soul is powerful, and when you put it forth from your soul essence, combined with how the energies are, we're slipping into fourth density reality where manifestation is already accelerated. It's we're like newbies. We're like young little kindergartners trying to make sense of this new education system, these new powers, these new tools. Now we can read and we can write, and we got to learn not to abuse what we're learning. And it's so I'd say have a slight amount of caution with this, because it is very powerful. However, in doing all 3 of these things, I leave every single day feeling awesome, feeling immaculate, feeling in the zone, feeling grounded. I'm taking control of my vibrational state. Most people have no control over their vibration. It's subject to the influence of their physical world, and they might be having a good day because they're seeing evidence that would support that. But the second something comes in that's contrary to that, it's so easy for people to slip into this darkness and then not know how to get back out of it. So this allows you to stay more centered, more the observer, more just objectively viewing your reality as nothing but a projection and a series of props you can learn from, props you can, create your world from, using the contrast and negative experiences in your favor, putting a positive spin on them. All this is possible when you learn how to control your inner state. And I would go to say it's very important now, if you're feeling yourself kind of unbalanced or ungrounded or just kind of thrown off your rocker with the current energies, which are particularly intense right now, I would highly recommend investing the time and energy into creating the habit of a daily ritual, incorporating these 3 components I just mentioned. Again, it would take me way too long to kind of like tell you how to do all this stuff specifically, but now I kind of gave you the groundwork and you can kind of go forth and make it your own. Lastly, I like to, from this charged, this awesome state at the end of my little routine, which takes only about 15 minutes, I like to read something positive, something that's going to enrich me, something that's going to help me become smarter and wiser, not just some like fluff magazines or something powerful. I like to read a lot of Eckhart Tolle or Ascension. Oftentimes I read out of this. This is Practicing the Power of Now. I could usually just pick through it, pick like a sentence, and just meditate on a single sentence, because this guy has a knack for propelling you into the now, the eternal now. So I hope that helps you guys. I can say that if you do this, if you learn to like get a feel for how to balance yourself with these tools I just gave you, you will significantly minimize all the awakening symptoms. Because the awakening symptoms are nothing more than you not knowing how to manage all the crap that's coming up, meaning your emotions, as well as not learning how to manage the Kundalini energy. Because the energies of the planet are stimulating our Kundalini, whether you like it or not. And it's happening kind of like automatically. And if you really don't know how to, again, accept it into you and learn how to like not get too thrown off track, then it can create a lot of ascension symptoms. I went through 8 years of this freaking madness until I finally learned how to control my inner state. And now I don't really have ascension symptoms. I have the emotional purging and stuff, but I don't get the fatigue and all the crap like that so much anymore. Sometimes I won't sleep at night, but I used to have rashes and injuries and I was just riddled with pockets of energy that made me where I could barely even speak. Now this has finally taught me to ground myself, and that has all kind of went away. So remember, with all this said, be easy on yourself. This is all new to us. We're all learning how to navigate this newly our awakening selves, which is in motion. It's not like we've awakened and here we are. We're like in motion to awaken, and the energies are constantly the vibration of the planet is constantly raising. It's a lot to deal with, it's a lot to manage, and it's a lot to learn. It's a lot to learn how to flow and go with these energies and with our new selves. So just be easy on yourself. Allow yourself to go through this apprenticeship phase. That's what we're all in. We're all apprentices right now, learning how to navigate ourselves and the new energies, and we're doing a phenomenal job. So we'll become masters down the line, but right now we gotta really put the work in, okay? So good luck, you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the amazing comments and just the love I get from you guys. It really touches my heart. My channel is starting to kind of grow now, and it's a beautiful experience for me. I love what I'm doing, and I love that I'm helping you guys. So thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in another video. Peace.